Hello, Jesus Seekers. This is Romuald, Simeon. The book is the Bible, the Gospel of St. John, or I should say the Gospel of Jesus according to St. John, the last apostle who gave us the last 3 books of the Bible, his Gospel, his epistle, and book of Revelation. This is what closed the Bible, and we're on the course on the chapter 13 of John's Gospel in Lectio Divina, which the book is Love Letters from Your Father, and we're talking about one of the great love letters that Jesus has given from the Father. And it's just 2 verses that I'm talking about now. John 13, chapter 13, verses 34 and 35. But we're talking about the legacy that Jesus was leaving the apostles and how strongly he was saying things to them in this last day of his life. It's the last day of his life. We have it as Holy Thursday, but I told you already that according to the Jewish calendar, way of telling time, this was Good Friday, because the Last Supper on Holy Thursday was actually, according to the Jews, a day of preparation before Sabbath. It was the Friday, the evening of the Friday, and now Jesus is giving his legacy to the apostles that are there after Judas left to betray him. And the line is so strong. There's so much to say about it. In video 38, I gave some teachings on that, but I have to continue. I can't get off the subject, because he says, love one another as I have loved you. And you say, well, the word love means so many things to so many people. We use so many adjectives to describe love. You say, at least it is something that does no harm. Do no harm to another if you love them. And you have to be concerned and you care about people when you love them. If you love a person offends you, you have to be forgiving. And also, if people that see that you love them, you're uplifting. They enjoy your presence. You don't put them down. If they're in need, you assist them. Another word for love, to assist a person in need. When persons have real need, when others betray them, when others leave them aside, when others do not understand, you are there. You are there, and you are willing, and you take initiative to help. You want to help. So, and you bind with that person. You're forming a good relationship with them. That's loving. There's so many good words. People say, well, this is my best friend. Well, they have a lot of best friends. Ultimately, I say there's only 2 best friends that you can have. I may be wrong here, but Jesus is your best friend. That's what he's saying. You love me the way I love you. You'll know that I am your best friend. Don't find fault with me. How can you find fault with the Son of God? If we have a problem with God, something is wrong with us. Can't have a problem with God. God is all-knowing, all-loving. He created each one of us because he foresaw our existence and put us into existence and is willing to give us eternal existence with himself. So, say, love wants everything to be forever. Can't love people as we love God. We're not so sure we're going to be with them forever. We have to know where we're going, if we're going to be with God, and try to be with God. We don't know where others are going. Even people that we love the most and we're concerned about them most. We see them going on the wrong road. So we pray for them because we love them. We listen. We listen with our hearts. We just don't listen with our ears. We see with the eyes of Jesus, and we listen with the ears of Jesus. How Jesus would listen. That's how we do it, if we do it his way. Our hearts have to be open to people, to the people we say we love, constantly. To listen to their story, to be in their shoes, yes, to be in their shoes. I find it hard to do. I'm so busy being in my own shoes, but that's the truth. It means I don't love enough. So when we say this thing of love, it's almost difficult to get away from it because we could take each point and write a chapter on it. A whole book be on it. And that's true. Love of God. When we talk about the love of God and love as he loves, we have to take all of those different occasions where he showed love to the cripples, to the lepers, to his mother, to the apostles, even to Judas. How he tried to keep him from doing any evil. And that's what you do when you love. You don't say, well, they're evil, let them go. Jesus didn't let Judas go. Jesus went. But Judas went. What a horrible thing to say. The epitome of love. The one who would die for everyone. The one who was most merciful. He went. What a horrible expression. Don't want that to happen to me. I don't want to say Rami went away from Jesus. The essence of love. So we have to love the way that Jesus loved, and not to put anything that is anti-love on Jesus, because that would be blasphemy. The Son of God, everything he did was love. God is love. Those who live together in love live in God, and God lives in them, for God is love. We have a love God, not a diabolical God. So when I think of this, when I meditate on these words of Jesus, I not only see so many incidents of the opposite, but I have to state it now the way that the Bible really states it. If God is love, what is attacking God, banishing God from our lives? And that's true. People, and anytime we sin, we're saying, God, go away. I want to do things my way. So let's analyze and see what all this means. What is our way? God's way. He says, I am the way, the only way. The word only should be there. Because only God is perfect. Only Jesus is perfect as the Son of God. And that's what he's talking about. Perfection of love. Not that it's so high that we can't reach it. But look at all those adjectives that we used. Forgiving, understanding, keeping our word. What is the anti-love? And there's a horrible word, a diabolical word. Atheism. Against God. No God. God removed from our life. There is no God. There is no Father. There's no Son, no Holy Spirit. There's no goodness in the world because everything that is good came from Him. Goodness is His gift. So let's really look into it. Atheism is such a dirty word, a satanic word. It's the word of Satan. Satan is Satan because he did not want God in his life. And so when we look at these things, we're going to see how satanic it is. Atheism, no God. Atheos. No God. There's no God. He's not going to be in my life. He's not going to be part of anything that I have in life. And I'm going to make myself the visible God. We don't want to have the invisible God, the Spirit, the God that is beyond creation. So we banish God from our life. Atheos. That's the way I want to say it. You banish God. There is no God. And what does it mean then? The way I see it, I can talk maybe theologically or academically, but I want to talk with understanding, way of truth. What is God? God is the essence of being. God is the being before, during, and beyond creation. God is not part of creation in the sense that He is a creature of any kind. We use anthropomorphisms. God sitting on the throne, He's an old man. Jesus is the Son of God. Even the word say Son of God. He's God. He is the entity, the total entity of essence. I don't know how to say it any better, philosophically, theologically. All that is existence that we can see, that we can touch, that we have knowledge of through our senses, all of that came from God. There is no, but to say that you're atheist is to say that the entity, the essence of everything, is not there. The essence of entity is not there. Yet you have existence. That very terminology is a contradiction. What can we call it? Stupidity? It's a complete contradiction. That if the essence of entity God doesn't exist and you can ignore him, of course you can't see him. Because we see with our eyes. You can only see God with your faith, with the eyes of Jesus. The eyes that are beyond human sight. And you're saying that the great, all entity is an oxymoron, the greatest possible oxymoron there can be. That the entity that must exist, you say, doesn't exist. You, who doesn't have to exist, and you didn't exist before your own birth, and you're not going to be around that anyone thinks you have any existence after you're dead, except a few people who might remember you for good or for worse, but not very long, because when they die and they forget, you're completely gone. Unless you exist some other way, the only way that Jesus says you can exist in eternity. So, elimination of the essence from existence is complete insanity. You can remove your existence, but you cannot remove with a few stupid words or thoughts the existence of the essential essence that there must be. It's difficult to say how to say it convincingly because stupidity in the human race is often predominant. And so is this. You're closing the door on what is the most important thing to know. That there is existence that is essence. When we say we have essence plus existence, we're just talking about the nature of something. Just like you have a whale, an animal, a dog has some kind of existence. That's how humans have it. But they don't have the essence. They don't have power to put themselves into existence. So, atheism opens the door to all that is not God. What does that mean? Wow. Opens the door to all that is not God. All that is evil. All that is disrespectful. All that is shadows on the wall of existence. All existence. Even if you look back in the human race, we say, this person existed long ago, 1,000,000 years ago. And you live with the dinosaurs, or the dinosaurs there, and they don't exist anymore. They're all gone. They do not persist. You do not persist of yourself. In fact, the existence that you have in this life is actually very short. Those that are listening to this, figure it out where you're at. How many decades have you lived so far? How many times have you been ready to die and your human carcass thrown away? Your memory remembered only by a few people around you who if you come across them later, they say, oh yeah, I remember that name. That's all they know about you. A few memories, maybe unhappy memories. So, a person that tries to close the door on God, first of all, you can't do it. It doesn't work. There's no way dust in this world can affect a being who put the stars and the galaxy into existence. There's no way that little flea that exists in the galaxy and the earth is of any real importance. You've got your 15 minutes of existence. You're the flea on the backside of a donkey. And nobody cares which flea you are and what happens to you. He swishes his tail and you're off. That's all God has to do. What if, let's say, take a little incident, or even something like a joke, but a very serious joke. What if God went on strike? What if the physical laws that he put into existence, you didn't do it, humans didn't do it, laws of physics, no more than we put our own existence into the world. Let's say he just went on strike and didn't keep the laws of physics in existence. Let's say he just removed the oxygen from the earth for 15 minutes. We'd all be gone. All your bravado will be over with. And that's all it is. It's empty bravado. In fact, it's sinful, blasphemous bravado. You should be punished for that kind of bravado. Because everything, without God, who do you think you are? You talk with impunity. Sure, you're free to say it. You're free to say it. There are many have said it before you. But after they're dead, after their bodies are corrupted, after they disappear, it's like when people die and put their ashes into the ocean. That's it. You're gone. Who cares anymore? Except a few people that remember you. No, you're in somebody's memory. What? Can you see that? Can you observe that? A memory? Maybe you have a few photographs. Even that would go, and you yourselves would forget. Yes, with impunity. We rename things. We're like helpless nothings. And that's what you're saying. You're saying God is a nothing. Well, hang on there, because even people who know you think you're pretty well a nothing. Even people that say they love each other, they'll love each other for eternity, they'll love each other no matter what. Yeah, they divorce each other, they hate each other. The reverse is so easy. And you're reversing existence of God into non-existence. And for the few years that you're living and you're able to say things and to say whatever the heck you want with the power, the physical power that God himself has given you. What use is it? Empty words. You're only passing through. If it wasn't for Jesus Christ telling you that your existence was forethought by God, since he knows all things and knows everything that comes into existence, and he knows how long you're going to be in existence, he knows how long you're going to be into this world, and you can't stop going out of it. Can you stop it? You try. You pay all doctors, and the doctors are gone. Nothing can hold you here. Here's a bad part about being an atheist also that you should understand. You're condemning yourself. And you're turning people that are around you into things. People you love them just because they're useful to you. Tell the truth to yourself. You can't do that. Tell the truth to yourself. Of what value are people around you that you depend on? And who do they depend on? The same question goes to each person. God does not depend on us. We depend on him. I say one of the worst things you do is because you condemn yourself. You turn God into nothing, and you turn people into things that is here just for your benefit. What about you being beneficial to yourself, being your own best friend? Can you do that? Do you exist for yourself? You get some power, a little bit of power over others. You have some possessions, which are not going to last because either you're going to be taken away from it or it will be taken away from you. You're going to end up in a grave, and it's not even yours. They can dig you up and put somebody else there. What makes you so powerful above God? You turn people into things? Well, you yourself are only a thing. Without God, maybe not even that. You're just a little ant on the ground that someone could step on in the end. That's what you are. One time I had this sort of care, in a way, of this little girl whose father died suddenly, and it was kind of ridiculous if it wasn't tragic. Died while he was mowing the lawn, and they call a doctor, and the doctor says, "I don't understand. There's nothing wrong with him." Well, maybe there's nothing wrong with him, but he's dead. Wife is crying, the children are crying. This girl was so shocked and intimidated. I think she was about 10, 11 years old. That she became silent. Like autistic. She was so shocked a father she loved so much. He was gone. That's it. His time ran out, whatever it was, he was gone. And I happen to know this family, and mother tells me one day that because of being autistic and all, they wanted to institutionalize her daughter. She had an older sister and a brother. They didn't know what to do with her. They could, as they say, take care of her. To do what? They can't bring her father back. They can't figure out why. They can give you a reason. They give 1,000 reasons. Psychiatrists and all that give you all kinds of reasons. But I just said, if you keep her home, I'll visit the family and I'll take her around with me and just see what she thinks. And if we can keep her happy. He says, you mean like a substitute father? No, I don't know if I can. Depends on what she is. So I tried my best. Took her out. I let her have fun. Mix her up with other children and see how they, but she was kind of quiet. She didn't reveal things to others. And one time, we went to on a sort of little excursion, and the place where I would go to fish. And it was up in a mountain, and there were nice 3 little waterfalls, one falling to another and all that. And we'd pray and have a little picnic, have a lunch. And then I saw her standing there one time by the water, and I would just talk to her, try to get her to talk. And I said, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? And she was looking down at something, and he says, you know, I feel that I'm like God. I'm standing here on this rock, and I just noticed that a leaf falls into the water, and there was an ant on that leaf going in the water, and I'm wondering, here I am looking down, does the ant see me? Does the ant know that I'm watching? And that it's on a leaf? And if it goes on this little stream, it's going to go over the next waterfall. Maybe it'll drown. Maybe, I don't know what would happen to it. Just be gone. And that's what's happening. Little sticks going by, little twigs, and sometimes a little bug on them. And I said, so what are you thinking? He says, I think that's how God is. That's how God is. He's watching us. He knows what happens, and we're just little bugs on a leaf floating down a river. I said, that's a marvelous thought. Like, I don't want to put words in her mouth, but I was beginning to get into the conversation. And I said, it's like the stream is like life. We don't know where it comes from. We don't know where we come from. And how we got on that leaf. And if we weren't on that leaf, we'd drown. And we get on the leaf, and it carries us to another area. And maybe that leaf comes to the side of the stream, and the ant gets off and goes its way. Yeah, she says, but then it's not with the other ants. It's not with its family. It's lost. It doesn't know how to get back. Now, that happens with humans too. We're lost, and we don't know how to get back. We're on a stream. We're on our own stream. And only the ant that's on that leaf knows what's going on in themselves. They don't know that's a big stream. They don't know there's a waterfall. They don't know that someone is there looking down on them and wondering what's happening. Yes. I meditated on that after that. It was a good meditation. That's God. And the ant can't look up and know that God is there. Only knows he's being carried through life. That's it. Would you say then that if that ant could be like us, that they would say, you exist, you're watching it, you have the power to push that leaf one way or the other, or pick it up and release that ant? Yeah, the ant doesn't know it. If you told the ant that it was you, would it believe it? Well, she answered, she may not believe it's me, know anything about me. She doesn't know about humans, but she better believe it, because that person had power over them. Whether they continue their way down, whether they get lost, whether they're saved. I often thought about that. I think I put it in one of my books somewhere. But, yeah, good thought. Begin to look around us and see what happens to us. But to say that someone is not there because you don't know them and can't see them, can't figure it out, doesn't prove that the ant knows very much. If that ant was to say, there's nobody there, nobody watching me, nobody that can save me, and I don't know how I'm moving on this whatever. They don't know it's a river. They don't know there's a waterfall. They don't know anything. And that's what I think about atheists. I don't think I'm cruel thinking this with them. I don't think I'm condemning. I just think they just don't know. So don't say, you know God doesn't exist. That's the very wrong part. You don't know. And if you thought, as any normal human being, that when there's an existence of something, there must have been some way that we got here. And all we do have an idea of, that we have consciousness, is that we exist. We don't even know if animals or ants or bugs or spiders are conscious of their own existence. The people who have faith know something that the atheist does not know. Know that if there's any indication that there is a God who made us, that he is master, that he has essence beyond us. Therefore, if we know anything about him, we should know love, and serve Him. Is that logical? If there's a God. But to say there's no God doesn't make any sense. At least if there's a God, makes some sense. Because there's so many things in existence, they must have come from somewhere. But be careful this. There's another little Greek word on this point about atheists. And by the atheism is a Greek word. Theos. No God. The ungod. What about if you hate God? Of course, it's another oxymoron point, because if there's no God, why hate Him? But people actually take it upon themselves to tell us that not only there is no God, but that we're crazy to believe in God. That we're crazy. They want, if God is there, they want Him out of their life. They not just ignore Him, but they oppose Him. If we say anything about God being good, being merciful, we say that God gave us existence, they reject it. They not only want to ignore God or murder God, but they want to believe that people have no right to exist. You believe that? Why, when we talk about history, and I've taught history, it's like one war after another. The beginning of another war begins in time of peace, so-called peace. It's already working its way out to hate and to kill, to destroy. And we got a simple example, and I'll mention it any time I get, is that women who hate their own pregnancies, their own babies. It's okay to go along with the momentary pleasure that creates the pregnancy, or even to condemn a forced pregnancy, a rape. But what of the fact that a baby exists? You call it a fetus. I hear that. I heard it just a few days ago from a 15-year-old teenage girl who bragged to her friends, bragged in front of boys and all that, her pals, her little group. Yes, like she's a woman now. And I had an abortion. And I was on my bike ride, just getting some exercise, and saw them on this little bridge. And my heart went out to that girl. And I said, everybody was laughing. I said, you're laughing? Why? It's only a fetus. It's only a fetus. It's not real. It's only just a little bit of thing, like a mucus, like when a chicken lays an egg. Just a little mucus. That's all it is. I said, just a minute now. Let's try to think as human beings. Was it living? That stopped him. Was it something that was living? What do you mean by that? That if you didn't abort it and kill it, it would grow. No. These were just teenagers not too intelligent, but with some common sense and knowledge that God gave them. He said, well, yeah, I was living. And can you tell me what type of living it had? Was it a rat? A skunk? Was it a snake? Was it a dog? A cat? What if it grew and developed the way it was scientifically in its own genes, right? You heard of it, genes. What would it become? What would it be? Oh, become a baby. Oh, so it's called pregnancy. The person was pregnant. Think about it. If you kill something that is living and it's human and it's going to develop into a full human being like yourself, it has, if you try to kill it, it resists it, it feels, it has, in a few days, that was what, I won't say how long you had the pregnancy, that it had a brain, but whatever it is, because of what you did, sperm meets the human egg, becomes a human being. You killed it. One of the boys that was there says, you mean it's murder? I said, figure it out. Let's say to the atheist, if there is no God, then what are we? We're only things, like a tree. We're only things. We have no soul. We have no development. We have no consciousness to figure out what made it. Does a tree know what made it? You're turning us into things. You're telling us we should be like a tree and not acknowledge that we were created. We open the door to complete stupidity, lack of common sense even. And who has control over life? Is everything going fine in life? Isn't there a cause and effect of what you don't like in life? What do you mean? Well, do you love your parents? Do you love your teacher? Do you love all the kids in school? No. Yeah, I love my father. No, my father ran away. My father left us. I don't have a father. No, you don't have a father with you, but you had a father. You know, maybe you don't have a mother with you, but you had a mother. Someone's taking care of you. You go out and work to get your own food? No, you depend on others. So who has control over your life? Well, I have control over my own life. Well, if I start questioning you about the kind of control you got over your life, you wouldn't talk about political control, you wouldn't talk about police control, you wouldn't talk about the society control, you wouldn't talk about going to school when you don't want to. Simple things. Where's the control in your life? Who controls you? Are you out of control? When you're out of control, believe me, they're going to put you into control. You can't have what you want, no matter what. Even criminals, their own evil selves control them. Can they get away with it? No. They can't break a bad habit. They're not in control. Okay, so let's say it the way the scripture would say it. The devil controls you, the rebels. The devil is out of control. What controls you? The things that you possess, your pleasures, your control over others. You're trying to persuade others. If you don't believe in God, then what do you do? Why do you hate God? You are C.O. Sturgeons. Hope I pronounce it right. A hater of God. You're saying either the devil controls you or you control yourself. And what does that make you? An idolater. You worship yourself as if you're God. That you are in control. What contradictions over. You can't even control yourself. If you could control yourself, would you ever get sick? Oh, bugs are controlling you. Microbes. Diseases. You can't even control a disease. So, God is not a taskmaster. It's not Him saying to us, do it my way or take the highway. He's saying, do it my way because it's the correct way. There's something right and wrong. Right and wrong. If we ever talk about God, we talk about Jesus Christ, you have to talk about positives. Here he's talking about love one another as I love you. You say you love me as I love you first. I am teaching you to love God, to love the Father. Yes, to love me. And I'm going to prove it by dying for you. So love is positive. Love of yourself is not positive. Loving yourself is not positive. It puts other people down. Loving yourself means you're selfish, self-centered. That you are God. That you replace God with yourself. And that's what people do. That's what is wrong with the world. Could I give you another fancy Greek word? Kathekonia. Kathekonia. It refers to goodness. All the things you should do as a human being. All the things you should do that you say you don't have to do. You want to be in a safe place in the world? Then make it a safe place for others with you. You. Jesus made everything a safe place for everybody. He's saying, reach out in love. Love everyone as much as you love me, as much as I love them. You want a best friend? Well, I'll give you a suggestion. The best friend you'll ever find in this life is Jesus Christ. The best friend you'll ever find in life is God. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. God makes plants to grow and all that so that you can eat. If you want a human best friend, love one another as I have loved you. Be forgiving. Be caring. Be concerning. Be uplifting. Be assisting. And I'm going to give you a thing that I tell many people through Jesus Christ. You want a best friend, be a friend to yourself. Make yourself safe from yourself, from your stupid ideas, from your atheism, which is not light but darkness. Be at least self-approving of the good things that are in you and make a difference. Really be honest with yourself. You know what you do that's good for yourself and what's not good for yourself. To hate others, to condemn, to be a smart aleck and tell them, oh, there's no God. I'm wiser than you are because I don't believe that fairy tale. Just don't reject your own mind and conscience, your own intelligence, because that's what you're doing. Be a friend to yourself. Do what's good for you and try to apply it. The best thing you can do for yourself is to believe in God. Best thing you can do for yourself is to listen to Him. The best thing you can do for yourself is to believe that if there's anyone who doesn't lie in this world, and you lie to yourself, and people lie to you every single day, people deceive, people put you on the wrong road, and you'll be probably traveling the wrong road. Get off. Don't do another Greek word, adikia, unjust, idolatry, doing the wrong thing, replacing God with yourself. I'm looking at you. You are not God. Not only you're not my God, you're not God. And I can see you, and you exist. And if you think God doesn't exist, I pray for you. You're walking in darkness. You make people who believe in God outcasts. But maybe you're on the wrong side of the door. You believe other people are stupid and underfoot, that they believe in myths and fantasies. Well, when you believe that you are God, that's the biggest fantasy of all. let's hope you don't even go lower and deliberately do evil to prove that God doesn't exist. There was an atheist, his name was Ingersoll. By the way, he's the one who influenced the father of Margaret Sanger. And because the father rebelled against the priest who told him basically what I'm telling you, he influenced Margaret Sanger to not believe in the human race, to control the human race, turned her into a demon self-god, that she had the right to get rid of people because there were too many people in the world. Well, a lot more people here. I think when she was living, the whole world was something like 10 billion people. It's a lot more now. Whatever it was, it doubled and tripled and quadrupled since Margaret Sanger was here. She couldn't kill enough babies. She couldn't murder enough people. She was the demon Satan. But she didn't know it. But I think she knows it now because she's not living. At least don't go the road of having a deliberate action to do evil, to attack God. Ingersoll, the atheist who used to go around and used to say, if there's a God, strike me with lightning. If there's a God, I challenge you, strike me with lightning. The truth is, God doesn't have to strike you with lightning. He takes care of you when disease destroys your soul. When you die, you have to die from something. Your life comes to an end, and his life has come to an end. You don't have to strike him with lightning. God gives you the chance to believe in him and to do his will and to be moral. You have no chance to do it after you're dead. Lord, the giver of life, keep us connected to your life. Connected to your life, Lord. Because you're everything, and without you we're nothing. I want to be in your life. I thank you for my existence. I thank you for your promise, Jesus Christ, that you will die for me and give me mercy so that I may continue to live with you. And even if I don't live another life, and you gave me this life, I'm going to thank you forever and ever, as long as I can. And brothers and sisters, repeat this work in the Word and these verses in the Gospel of John. Etch them into your minds. Carve them on stone. If your head is stone, carve it in your head. Love one another as I have loved you. Love one another as I love them. That's my legacy to you, Jesus says. Lord, I accept it I believe it, and I will proclaim it wherever I can. Brothers and sisters, let's pray for each other and see with the eyes of faith and hear with the ears of faith and talk and act with the ways of Jesus Christ. And we'll be safe. Pray for me as I pray for you. God bless.